Hello everyone, my name is Clay, and welcome to Terminally Nerdy's Indie Impressions, the series where I take a look at independent, non-AAA, and niche titles, giving you my first impressions after at least 2 hours of gameplay, because like I've always say, if it's good enough for most of the major online retailers for a refund policy, it's good enough for me. And today, I'm going to take a look at Devious Dungeon, a action platformer roguelike, it was sent to me on Keymailer for the purposes of this review, and it's not a terrible game. It's not anything special, to be perfectly honest. What you're looking at visually right now on screen, that's the entire game. You basically play a character who has been told by his king to go into the ever-changing dungeons to eventually reach the bottom and slay a great evil that is corrupting the castle and its environment. You basically have one character type, it's a fighter. He's big and burly and has many abs. You swing a sword, you jump, and that's pretty much it. The entire game consists of going into a procedurally generated floor, looking for a key. Once you have the key, you can then open the exit portal. And that's it. That's the game. In its entirety. Now, is that bad? Not remotely. It's enjoyable if you just want to kill a bunch of enemies. But for the most part, the gameplay never really changes. Now, as you go further and further down, you will eventually encounter bosses, of which there are 5. In my 2.5 hours of playtime, I've killed 3 of the 5. The bosses are slightly more complicated, they have patterns, but they're similar in style to like an old NES or Super Nintendo game. The patterns are very recognizable. Once you get the hang of the pattern, it's not that hard to just kill them. I do admit that the third boss, which I fought on stream, took me a couple tries to get the hang of it, but once I realized I can just eat certain attacks from him and just keep hitting him, and only one of the attacks really was dangerous, that's what I did to beat him. You do have some level of customization here in the form of equipment. So as you play, you will gain experience, you will level up, you will put 1 point into one of 3 stats. Strength, which increases your damage, stamina, which increases your health, dexterity, which increases your critical chance. You also have equipment in the form of weapons, armor, potions, rings, and necklaces. They are progressive. You must purchase each item to unlock the next item. And you purchase these with gold that you get for killing enemies, breaking objects, and beating bosses. The real progression here is that gear, and it does scale up. Very, very slowly. The weirdest one are the potions. I wasn't sure what they do. They literally just increase your stats slowly and progressively by the number, so when you buy a potion of strength and it's 2 strength, when you buy the next strength potion, it adds 3 more strength. Enemies, however, scale with you seemingly, so it doesn't really feel like you're ever really progressing unless you go backwards into the lower levels, or you fight lower level enemies in the higher tier levels. And those enemies will appear, like on level 40, which you'll see, what you're seeing here, you can still encounter enemies that were from level 20. And they will go down very, very quickly, whereas new enemies, which do show up as you progress further and further with new mechanics and new patterns, they will take progressively longer to kill until you, again, upgrade. You can, in this game, theoretically grind your way to victory. Just grind out XP, grind out money, buy all the upgrades, and then face off with the bosses. I don't know if it's worth the time to do that. Additionally, there is a hard mode that you can switch to. On the screen when you're selecting your save file. You have 3 save files. That's pretty much the game. Oh, when you die, all you do is you go back to the castle. You lose nothing. You don't lose XP. You don't lose any of your gear. You don't lose any of your money. In fact, depending on how many floors you've cleared since your last death, you will get bonus money. So that's good. There are also quests that you can do to earn money. They are randomized, and they're essentially kill X. Or break X. So break a chest, break 5 vases, kill 5 skeleton archers. And as you complete those quests, you will get drops of money. And that helps with the buying of the gear. And that's the entire game. It's $5, I believe. Let me double check that actually while I'm thinking about it. It's worth about the $5, yeah. It's worth about $5. Now there is, apparently, a Devious Dungeon 2 on the way, which will have more classes, and and it looks like it'll be more complex in general. I'm waiting to see when that comes out, if it's going to be worth anything. This, if you're into this sort of thing and you just want something to bash away an hour or two of your time, for $5 it ain't that bad. But if you want a roguelike platformer with some actual meat to it, Rogue Legacy, Dead Cells, they're better buys overall. So if you like what you're seeing, feel free to pick it up. Otherwise, this is a safe pass. Hey there, I just want to say thank you for watching this video, and a special thank you to all my patrons who are listed over there on the right hand of the screen. If you want to get your name in those credits, feel free to check it out at patreon.com/terminallynerdy. And hey, be kind to each other and stay nerdy. Thanks.